I've got Star Wars Imperial Assault in front of me right now by Fantasy Flight, and the lid's not completely on, but if we just pop it, we can see that this is a big, old, chunky, intimidating game box. I mean, look at the absolute size of that. Okay, and inside are, as I've said before, loads of tokens and cards, and tokens and cards, and tokens and cards, and lots of other things as well. Loads of stuff. Filling that up, packed to the nines. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Because often, yes, I know, I'm slamming Fantasy Flight very often. But that's because they're the giants, and, you know, we need to keep them on their toes, because they are the ones producing the biggest games for us. They're also producing a hell of a lot of games for us. And they're a great company as well, you know. I absolutely adore Fantasy Flight. They have so much of my money. We play so many of their games. We play bloody Mansions of Madness. We play Relic. This Now. Blood Bowl card game. It's just the Star Wars living card game. You know, we are, you know, the X-Wing miniatures game. It just goes on and on. You know, all the RPGs, Death Watch, everything that they do. You know, we just want. But I'm going to say something extremely positive. You know, I call it like I see it. And some trends, they get a bit concerning. And sometimes I'll rant. But with this release, we've seen the potential for a really good trend. And I hope that this continues. Fantasy Flight, take note. What I'm showing you here, 4 rulebooks. Now, that might sound overly complicated and problematic in of itself. Let's move these to here, and we'll have a look why that is not the case and why it is brilliant. First up, we have got the Skirmish Guide, okay? It's a really short little pamphlet at best, yeah? Just a few little pages. And it's just got the rules in specifically about running this as a skirmish game, which you can run it as like a one-on-one type of game with no campaign elements to it. Excellent. Okay, then we've got the Learn to Play book. Read this first. Excellent. This gives you, you know, a real rundown on those initial rules, how to play the initial campaign tutorial, how to prepare all of that, and then a few advanced rules on top. The next things for playing campaigns and getting used to, you know, the main body of the game. And this will give you that. And that's fairly small as well, so, you know, that's not too much to bite off. But when you're doing this, you don't need that. Do you see what I'm getting at now, guys? You get some of these big rule books that are like overly complicated. And there are a few bad offenders for this. And I found that, for instance, the Star Wars living card game has been extremely difficult for me and the guys to pick up, just because of the placement of everything, the way it is in the rule book. It's all one big chunky rule book of stuff, and we're flicking about trying to find things. So this was a master stroke. Whoever thought of this, to separate these into separate books. And someone can say, oh, well, I'm going to read the skirmish rules. You don't have to look up contents. You don't have to check page numbers. You just give them this, and it's done, yeah? Learn to Play. Again, done. Here's the campaign guide. My copy got chewed up a bit by the dog, but, you know, it's still good. It's still good. And the campaign guide is everything in here for the Empire player to, you know, build his maps and what all the missions are. And that's pretty much all it is from front to back. All just campaign missions. This is the thickest book pretty much in the set, and it's all the campaign missions. Now, you're starting to see the breakdown here, that all of this would have made one big book, but there's another one. And we see here the rules reference guide. This is pretty much a introduction, then glossary, a full glossary, alphabetized, of rules, and get to the back, and this is where you get your index, and you can use the hell out of this. And then we've got some appendix parts on movement examples, line of sight examples. I mean, this suggests a brilliant new trend. These 4 books together make life so much easier for the gamer who's, you know, trying to learn the game. And if it's too complicated, it will be off-putting. Now, if you've got something with loads of counters and rules and things and expansions and additions, and it's going to drive everybody mad if you don't simplify the process as much as possible. And they are doing that here. So well done, Fantasy Flight. And I really felt this need to make this video to point this element out. There we go. The 4 amazing rulebooks of Imperial Assault. It's come in wonders for us trying to learn it. And it was my pleasure to introduce them to you. I'll see you at the table.